Hey fellow kayak anglers, not much fishing going on here obviously in the winter time. It's pretty cold out. I mean, we're down into the 20s here in central Texas. So I haven't been out on the water in a long time, but I did get some kayak fishing Christmas gifts. So had the itch, came out of the garage and decided to install what's in front of you, the Kayak Anchor Wizard. Pretty cool product. Takes a lot of the hassle out of dealing with your anchor trolley, your anchor rope, and that system. We used the anchor trolley for a couple years now, and it's good. It works. It's cheap, but there's a lot of hassle with it, with moving the trolley around, pulling your rope up, managing your rope, on some sort of spool or something, and getting that mess out of the way of the cockpit while you're fishing. So asked for this for Christmas, so I was fortunate enough to get it. Pretty simple product here. Very few components, but obviously the main component is the spool here. Pretty awesome. It already comes spooled with the paracord on it, 70 feet of it, so plenty for most fishing situations. On the box it says 780 pounds strength, so it's got a lot of strength to it. So easy. Wind up the spool. Obviously when you get some weight on it, you just turn it counterclockwise, and then the spool disengage. Well, it has some drag on it actually, and then the anchor can be released down. So the main component right here, bunch of holes to mount it. We're gonna mount this on the Slayer Propel using the track hardware that does come in the kit, and you got the track adapters, and then the hardware to mount it up. So nothing complicated there. There's a bunch of other hardware that comes in the kit. If you want to put it right into the kayak's plastic or something like that, you can do that easily. All right, this is where the anchor is going to mount up to. Kind of disregard this little plate here that I made. This is kind of custom for the Slayer Propel, and we'll talk about it a little later. But this is kind of the chute. So when the anchor is deployed, it'll be down like that, with the anchor down through the hole, and then the rope following back to the spool. But that'd be in the stowed position, and then when you release the drag on the spool, the anchor is going to drop, and that's going to drop with it. Turn it clockwise, spool it back up, slowly going to come up and then into the stowed position. So obviously the one thing that you'll need that doesn't come with a kit is an anchor, and I've been using this 3-pound anchor that I got from Austin Canoe and Kayak for a long time. So switching from application to application, this is going to work just fine. So like I said, should fit up there just like that, and then when it's in the stowed position, it'll be up like that. All right, and for this installation, we're going to do it with as little drilling. Actually, we're not going to do any drilling. We're going to use all the holes that come on the native Slayer Propel and the track system to mount this thing. So literally the only 2 hand tools we need is an Allen wrench for the supplied hardware and the track adapters, and then a screwdriver that we're going to use to use some of the well nuts that are already on the Slayer Propel and use that as a mounting system. So hang on a second, we'll start mounting it. So step 1 of the installation, we're going to mount the Anchor Wizard spool to the supplied native track. Pretty simple to do. Alright, I'm just going to start one of these track adapters onto the front of the Anchor Wizard. So the front is the open part. So just get that started. And this is going to differ between both, but this is just kind of strictly native Slayer Propel here. So we're just going to slide this into the start of the track, and then we're going to work on the back one. So line that up. It's on the track nice and neat. And obviously the native seat, you could take it out and make it a little bit easier. Should be able to slide the whole thing in. This kind of gets in the way. And get the track adapter, start sliding it in. I got a little hook tool here that I'm going to use to move it into position and then hold it up and thread it on. Alright, there we go. They're both threaded in there. So now it's just positioning it and securing it down. So I'm going to move it as far back as possible, right up to where the Propel native Slayer Propel seat comes. And I'm gonna lock it down here. So take your Allen wrench and just start tightening these guys up. Alright, now that that's tight and secure in the track, we're going to take the rope and start threading it back. So counterclockwise a little bit, get the drag on the spool off, just get plenty of rope out to run back, and that should be enough. Line it up just a little bit, make sure it's secure. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take this rope and I'm going to guide it down. The Slayer Propel does have a installed little plastic piece here for the bungee, and it's a convenient place to just thread it through. So I'm going to thread it through there. I'm going to run all my slack down, and as you can see, the rope's kind of out of the way. It does obstruct this rod holder just a little bit, but that's okay. So it's when it's got some tension on it, it'll be rubbing up against the rod holder on my Angle UC30 cooler with rod holders, which shouldn't fray the rope or anything like that. So this is perfect. Alright, so it's onto the back. We got to install the chute, and we'll talk about how I did that with the Slayer Propel system. So I'm here with the last part of the installation, the chute. This is the bracket I was talking to you guys about a little earlier. I made this, and this is custom to the native Slayer Propel to mount this. So no drilling into the boat is required. Do this, and I'll show you how that happens. So native gives you the hard handle, and I've already disassembled this. So the hard handle and two well nuts mounted into the plastic. So I took the handle off, and I'll just show you how this is going to mount. But the bracket fits up like that, and just stabilize it. So we're going to have two secured hard points. There are three on here, but I'm just going to go with the two based on the design of the Slayer Propel and the Anchor Wizard system. So a hard mounting point here and one there, and then obviously this brace to brace across that area to make it even more rock solid. So to mount this up, you are going to need some longer screws than what was already installed in the well nuts before. So if you don't have those, run out to the hardware store and get those. But our handle is going to fit on there like that. I put the bracket under the handle and the Anchor Wizard over the handle, and obviously I've already mounted my made bracket to the Anchor Wizard. Alright, so all I got left to do is start threading these guys on. There it goes, and then the last one. Alright, there it goes. So I'm going to tighten this down, get it snug. You can put some blue Loctite on these if you want to, but I think I got enough thread area to stay secure. Maybe if it was a heavier anchor that would make a difference, but I think a 3-4 will be okay. Alright, so we're all secure in there. This does allow you to use the handle still, so you still should be able to pick it up from the back. As you can see, you know, this thing's not moving. It's rock solid. I'm shaking the boat. So all that's left to do is run our anchor rope through the Anchor Wizard. So I got the end of the line here. I've routed it through this already installed bungee securement. So take the rope, go through the hole, and then we tie it onto our anchor. So that's done. Alright, so we'll wind this up, show you guys how it stows. Alright, installation being complete, it's time to test the Anchor Wizard now. So we're up front, we've got the spool in sight, and then to the back we've got the chute and the anchor installed. So simple operation on this guy. To let the anchor down, we're just going to go counterclockwise, so real slow, and the slower you go, the less you're loosening up the drag, and you see the anchor falls. So to bring the anchor back up, just going to turn clockwise nice and slow, bring it up slow, and looking back at the chute, the anchor's coming up, starting to enter the chute now, and once the anchor's all the way up, there you go, it starts tipping and into the stow position. Just a little bit of tension on it to make sure it doesn't fall. But that's it, pretty simple. All right, one more time. Just say counterclockwise, nice and slow. Anchor starts to fall, and the faster you want the anchor to fall, the more you loosen it up, which you don't want to loosen it up too much. So start clockwise, start tightening it back up. Anchor is going to start coming up into the chute and stowed position. There you go. So that's the Anchor Wizard installation. If some of you guys saw my Slayer Propel rigging and walkthrough video, you'll notice that I have an extended rudder on here. So obviously we'll have to be cognizant of that when we're dropping the anchor and pulling it back up. But tested it several times, and as long as the anchor is off center just a little bit, no issue with the Anchor Wizard getting in the way. So for Slayer Propel owners, you are going to have to create some sort of bracket. If you're going to do it this way, I suggest aluminum or stainless, obviously with the water conditions. But this is pretty rock solid. I can't wait to test it out in the water when it warms up here in the springtime, and should help me catch more fish, I hope. So that's the Anchor Wizard install on the Native Slayer Propel 13. Thanks.